So this is a 2025 Q3 real estate market update, and today we're going to dive deep into what is going on in Kendall, in specific what is going on three zip codes: 33176, 33186, and 33173. So there's been a lot of talks about a housing bubble and about, is there going housing affordability? And, right now, per the Q3 2025 report, 30% of the sales are taking place in cash. So that kind of tells you there's a good amount of cash people that own these properties free and clear. They're not going to let go of their properties. So what's interesting right now is the median price in 33173 is $812,500. It's actually up by 8% year over year. And in the neighboring zip code of 33176, it's even higher. It's $918,750. It's actually flat from last year to this year. So even though it's a higher price point, it's a flat versus the other one. What's interesting is that in 33173, properties are taking longer to sell, with average days on market being 54 days, which is a 145% increase year over year. And properties in 33173 are selling at a discounted rate of 6.5%. Meanwhile, in 33176, which is the neighboring Kendall zip code, closer to where US 1, the Falls, and Baptist is, what we're seeing is that even though the price is higher, the median price, the average days on market is lower. It's 37 days. And the other big difference is the discount from list price to sale price ends up being 10%. So what does this tell you? It tells you that the sellers in 33176 are overpricing the homes, and buyers are okay putting in lower offers, negotiating a little deeper in either while they're in contract or when they put that offer as a lower offer based on what the asking price is. So if you own a home in 33173 in Kendall, you are going to want to price the property closer to market value, as buyers are not willing to submit as lower ball offers like the other neighborhood. The great news is that for homeowners in Kendall, in both these zip codes, is that you're still in a seller's market, and there's still less than 6 months of inventory. So if you are wanting to sell a home in these zip codes, you are going to want to list now in the fall of 2025 or the Q1 of 2026 while you're still in a seller's market, because next is that you become a balanced market and then you're in a buyer's market. Right now, we've been helping a lot of homeowners in these neighborhoods. Some of these homes have been intact, meaning they're not updated. And the reality is you do not need to update it. You could leave it as is just by decluttering, painting, using what we have to stage it. We could still sell the property with a multiple offer situation and get you above market value. If the property has been renovated or updated, even better, we'll help you stage it, get it shined in its right light, and still help you get above market value. And all of this is possible right now because of the current market conditions in this neighborhood. So if you are interested in getting a complimentary analysis for both of these, let us know. Now, let's dive deeper into another zip code, which is 33186. It's the other neighborhood zip code in Kendall, and the reason I kept it separate is because it is by far the hottest in-demand neighborhood in Miami right now. It's Kendall in 33186. This is where the Hammocks is. This was where Three Lakes is. This was where Snapper Creek is. And what's interesting here, Kendall Lakes is here, is that there were a total of 90 houses that sold in Q3 of 2025. Majority of all these houses actually sold with financing, 86% of them. So it's a primarily finance house. Only 13 houses sold in cash. So if you are going to be a home seller here, it's imperative that we look at the past sales, because it is going to be subject to an appraisal. A bank's going to have to look at it. So it's important to price this property correctly. And what we're seeing in this area is that most of the appraisals are going to go by the most recent sales of the last 3 months, and then maybe open it up to 6 months, but probably not farther than that, because there's enough sales to go around during that time frame. So the median sales price in Kendall in 33186 is a little lower than the other two. It's $650,000, and the median sales price has come down 3% from last year to this year, which that tells me the lower priced homes are selling more than the higher priced homes in this zip code. So how most of these buyers are financing, and they're very sensitive to interest rates, they're probably compressed on how much house they can buy. So if they used to be able to buy a $900,000, they're probably being able to now to buy an $800,000 house. So keep that in mind in this neighborhood, because the lower price homes in 33186 are moving than the higher priced homes. So the average sale price is $710,493. It actually went up 2.2%. Single family homes are only selling at a 4.3 discount from asking price. So most of the buyers here are not lowballing. They're practically offering the sellers very close to what they're asking, and they're negotiating very little. So the average days on market is 51 days. It's an increase of 59% more from last year. So what's very interesting is that it's the only zip code in all of Miami-Dade County that is the hottest in terms of sellers market it's in Kendall, in that Kendall Lakes, Hammocks, the Crossings, 3 lakes. But it's the only zip code in all of Miami-Dade County with less than 4 months of inventory. The only one. So if you are living in that zip code, or you know someone that owns a house there, then you need to tell them that their zip code is by far the hottest one right now. It's the time to sell is in 33186 to get more than market value. So throughout Miami-Dade County, really we're seeing what's going on is very specific to the neighborhood. And you're seeing just even with 3 different zip codes in Kendall, it changes based on the zip code what is going on. So it's imperative that we look at your property not only as a whole, what's going on in the city, but what's going on in your zip code, and then what's going on in your actual neighborhood, and then what type of property you have. How we are seeing there's a little bit more demand for either completely turnkey or completely not, but so partially updated. Based on what's partially updated, we have to price it correctly to be able to get the demand. So real estate trends overall in Kendall, I think, are looking very good. If you're a buyer, you have a few more options than what you did a few months ago. You're seeing there's room for negotiation, some zip codes more than others. If you're a seller, I would say put this property for sale now in Q4 of 2025 or of Q1 of 2026. So you want to start meeting now to be able to get the advantage of selling this property. Any questions or any thoughts you have about any property you own in Miami, my name is Joanna Jimenez. I'm with the Opes group at Compass, and just feel free to email us or call us, and we'll be happy to help you from here.